CDEC, we have now a Rubik, which is, again, nice utility that you can have against the Bounty Hunter, stealing Shadow Walk, stealing the track, and now we also have the Phoenix. Actually, the Phoenix is also quite interesting because there's a good chance you steal the Nova after the Nova. If that's not too late for your fight. If the fight drags on, you have a Nova, that's of course nice. If not, you still get the Icarus Dive, or even the Spirits are nice for Rubik to dish out some additional damage, especially with the Telekinesis synergy. It's like 100% hit.
Yeah, for sure. In general, there's just a decent amount of spells to steal, and if you get your hands on Bounty Hunter's track, we saw it earlier in this series, and we'll probably see it again, where you can get a little bit of extra gold for your team if you can very promptly snag that away from the Bounty Hunter. So he should be spamming that inside engagements. CDEC now are pretty open to anything that they want to go, really. There's plenty of offlaners available in the pool for them to go for. But do you think they're just going to go for another support now? Maybe something like Alina?
Yeah, why not? Alina would actually be amazing. On both sides. That's the funny part. Right now I could see Alina on both sides. You have an initiation. Well, not the best one at the moment for LGD. Not something that prompt just goes in there and like stuns something. You have maybe track the Janata opening for slow, and then you could go for something. For CDEC we have better initiation with the Queen of Pain, with the Rubik, and now also with the Winter Wyvern. Like as a follow up, the curse really just holding a target in place, plus doing a lot of damage on it if people are standing around. So LGD, I would really say we need something for initiation rather than Alina. If the Alina gets a fast Yule Scepter and she's like a mid hero, yes, that would be an option, I think.
Yeah, but outside of that, they'll need something with a little bit more punch when it comes to those jumps. Let's see, what would be good for them? Sand King would be a nice blink initiator for them, but it's going to be really hard to lane given the Phoenix and Bounty Hunter already. LGD really are in a situation where they don't have much room for it. The Dragon Knight pickup might offer a little bit of that initiating core role if you see a Shadow Blade pickup, which probably is going to be the choice.
Blink Dagger.
Or Blink Dagger, yeah, of course.
We had Blink Daggers in the ESCC Chinese LAN here the last 3 days. Or it's like 2 days ago that it was there, but it was running for like 3 days. So yes, we had both. We had the Silver, like Shadow Blade, Silver Edge, Dragon Knights. We also had the Blink Dagger Dragon Knights. Both can pretty much happen. To be honest, this is one of the games where I would even say a Blink Dagger would be nice, because you really need that like instant jumping on something and then just blowing it up by the power of Bounty Hunter, Shadow Fiend raises, and a Dragon Knight Breathe Fire. That would be really cool. Otherwise, this really feels like a very sustained fight by LGD Gaming, and we saw that CDEC is mostly interested in like really a fast big bang, blow something up, and then go into a fight to create a 5-on-4 situation. That's something we had pretty much last game, and they often had this because the Spirit Breaker then later into the game had some really nice charges. Like his initiations on the Shadow Fiend did really the trick.
To round out CDEC's lineup, I'd love to see something like a Darkseer for them. It would be pretty nice to get the vacuum combo with the Gyrocopter Call Down and the Sonic Wave from Queen of Pain, although maybe it's not as reliable initiation as they want, but instead they're going to go for the Bristle. This is a lot of scaling damage for them, but it is a tad greedy.
Yeah, well, Queen of Pain, Gyro, and a Bristleback. Yes, that's a bit greedy. Then again, a Bristleback is tanky as F. With the Winter Wyvern on top of it, that's even more of it. So I can definitely see this being very, very nice, especially if the Bristleback stays alive over those fights. Plus a Bristleback, I mean a Gyrocopter and a Bristleback, both heroes that will eventually go into also relatively high attack speed, aka the Phoenix Egg is really in danger unless they're already stunned under it. The Warpath max on Bristleback because he's under attack or he's just spamming like crazy, and the Phoenix Egg dies really, really fast. So let's see where this one is going. At the moment, both teams kind of go for something tanky. We're gonna have again Shadow Fiend standard with a mech build, then the Phoenix Egg somewhere maybe behind the fight a tiny bit, and the Dragon Knight as a central role. Then again, granted, last game we had the DK, and funnily enough, he was so under attack and also had a bad laning that he was not really like that pillar of the team that was like outstanding in tankiness. He was mostly the one that died so fast.
Well, quickly as we load into this game, let's introduce our teams on the Radiant side. CDEC currently up 2-1 in the series at match point. It's going to be Q playing on the Rubik, are their support. It's going to be Garter on the Winter Wyvern, XD on the Bristleback, heading offlane, Chicky on the Quap, and Gyrocopter by Aggressive.
Yes, and on the other side we have Yao playing that Phoenix. We have Xiao8 on the Bounty Hunter going for that probably full roaming job. Sylar once more, it seems like he cannot play any other hero. He's gonna go on the Shadow Fiend. So far not really lucky with the Shadow Fiends. MY on the Lion, and maybe is playing that DK, and I think that's the funny part. If all of the other heroes like just go for a standard play, standard builds and everything, he will play a key role, he and his farm. I really have the distinct feeling that like his potential initiation and his farm, his tankiness is really gonna be a key role in this game, but maybe I'm totally wrong and Sylar is gonna be like in the spotlight. Let's see.
Well, hopefully for LGD, one of those heroes goes off like a shot. They need, at the very least, one hero that can just go into the enemy side and take a couple down with him. Well, top rune spot, looks like there might be some contention, but no, it seems that these Chinese teams just trade 1-for-1 pretty much every game without really much hope of going for these level 1 engagement. Chicky will get the bounty rune up top, it seems, and Dragonite down towards bottom, just trading 1-for-1. And, well, the mid lane is going to start off on exactly the same foot.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's again a 50-50 boundary split, which is easy going. They're gonna give it to, I think both gave it to the mid, right? So this is gonna be a Queen of Pain in the mid versus Dragonite. Again, one of those matchups where the Queen of Pain should by default win unless there's some sort of rotation, some sort of harass on the Queen of Pain. But yeah, Shadow Strike is really gonna be something where the Dragonite is gonna have trouble. Simply also because Shadow Strike is something where that might interrupt your bottle, especially if you have to use it in emergency situations. That's something you never really want to.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll probably see a second point even committed to that Shadow Strike sooner rather than later. Up in the top lane, Bristleback plus Winter Wyvern versus the tri-lane coming out from LGD is going to be pretty difficult for the LGD side to deal with. The Bristleback, even by himself, going to play a reasonable amount of pressure, especially when Bounty is so hands-off from that top lane. And, well, just look at XC posting up right on top of Sylar. But speaking of that Bounty, it's going to put a little bit of harass onto Shiki, although that Breathe Fire does miss.
Yeah, I mean, the harass is just there. Like the, I don't know, the Venom Orb is easy going for a Bounty Hunter, just to say hello, go for the initial hit, then get some, just get some damage in over time, plus the opener, which is like an instant 30 damage, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you just want to say hello. I was kind of surprised that he did not camp the chicken, because that would have been an opportunity for him. That was still a walking chicken. They didn't like make any side paths, was really like the son of thing. But oh, there's a nice telekinesis, but there's the Icarus dive. They baited it out of the Phoenix, so Phoenix, he has to go for more and more tangos. He already used 3 out of his 8. And talking about tangos, I think I saw someone else with like a crazy amount of stack of tangos, like 8 or something like that. So they're really prepared for so many things.
Just a lot of traded blows from either side. It's actually pretty interesting to see Bristleback go for a Poor Man's Shield. It's an item that we're seeing more and more on our strength melee heroes that are going to the offlane just because of how valuable that extra bit of armor and damage block is. After they nerfed Stout Shield to where it's not a 20 damage block, it's actually worth it, but oh my goodness, that was a miss micro. There's no other way to put it, really. That, yeah, was
she's just playing
easily
forward.
killed by Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, she just playing through the tower and then just got the courier. Nice timing there, and double damage Rubik just driving the Phoenix away. So, well, you usually see it done by the support or like by a Bounty Hunter or something like that. But in this case, Queen just took care of it herself. She was like, nah, I don't want to fight against a DK with a bottle, so I might as well, you know, just jump on it and go for it. So no first blood, but, well, we got the courier first blood at least. So.
Yeah, that's just maybe being really greedy and not backing off to pick up that bottle. It is something that Queens can end up doing, so that's a nice advantage for the Queen of Pain in mid, and for the rest of the team too. That extra gold goes a long way when you're dealing with a Bristleback or a Gyrocopter. Yeah,
and the Rubik tried to stack the jungle here. That is obviously for the Gyrocopter then later in when he has more points and more damage in the flak cannon. But yeah, the Bounty Hunter being there, just saying hello, no, you shall not stack.
And they won't be able to have that available to them, but even without it, they're still doing admirably in this bottom lane. Phoenix is not getting zoned out as much as Phoenixes usually are, but that's not really saying much. Compare the Phoenix directly to the Bristleback. Bristleback has 10 CS on his counterpart and a little bit of experience, even though he's been sharing quite a lot with the Winter Wyvern.
Oh, and there's actually a go on the Bristleback. I don't think this is gonna be enough for a kill, but oh, never mind. With the hacks, that might be interesting. There's one more raise, and he's using his stick. Now the Rexix are coming through. He's, however, not the first one to die. We had the Rubik killing the Bounty Hunter after they found it, and now the Winter Wyvern, well, he couldn't really help. Plus, he went for Splinter Blast and Arctic Burn, so there was not even a way for him to get the Cold Embrace up on the Bristleback. He was out of range anyway, so it's a 1-1 trade, and the bonus actually goes to CDEC because the Bounty Hunter died a tad earlier than the Bristleback. So yes, there goes the bonus. We have a hasted Dagger Knight, and he wants to find a Gyrocopter here. Yes, he's gonna find a Dragon Tail, and the Bounty Hunter is there as well. 3 people that should do the trick, but oh, Phoenix dying on the way. He was like all terrorists right there. Like, if I die, you die with me.
Oh, and it's completely fine for LGD to lose their Phoenix there, but at the very least, Gyrocopter gets something out of it. Good rotation from the Dragon Knight. Now that his courier is back up and running, they'll be able to deliver some items out, but fortunately enough for the Dragon Knight, he didn't lose bottle or boots or anything of the sort on that courier when it did fall to the Queen of Pain, so at the very least, there's that.
Yep. So Gyrocopter, after that little techies mode, he will still be really fast back to the lane with just the TP. He even bought Dust, and now the Dust is actually coming out. They wanted to go for the Bounty Hunter because they know he's now slowed. And look at this, Rocket Barrage, super deep dive. He just wanted to turn around. Fateful is going to finish this, but there will be rotations. You can see it all over the place already. There's the Shadow Fiend even coming in too from the bottom. There's the Dragon Knight getting 1 kill. The Gyrocopter still trying to get out. Are there any raises? The Fire Spirit should do the trick. Syla, however, gets it. So this dive, not really worth it. Tier 2 dive for a Bounty Hunter, losing your core and everything on the way. No way that was worth it.
And to the Shadow Fiend, no less. The Gyrocopter living up to his name. Aggressive, going down under those tier 2 towers. Yeah, it's a really big swing. It does buy some space for the Queen of Pain and Bristleback, so there is that to keep in mind. A little bit of extra farm there, but definitely doesn't make up for the fact that that was a little over-eager from CDEC. They committed Dust, they wanted the kill, and they got it, but at a hefty price.
Yeah, the Shadow Fiend's just gonna finish this Aquila. There's someone actually blinking out that a courier is coming, but, well, I don't know what it says. It's yummy, ching chang, something. But I wish I could read what it says. Either way, so Aquilas is done, and he's back to his lane. The rotation, you already said it, like, out of all those heroes, I think Shadow Fiend was the last that should have gotten any kills. He already got that kill on the Bristleback, relatively good farm on the lane. Now he got that nice little intermezzo in the bottom lane. Not the way you want to play and feed a Shadow Fiend, but it's not all over, of course. Gyrocopter, I think he immediately regretted his decision. Now back to normal farm and in the safe lane. Everything should be fine. Queen of Pain, try to rotate for that bottle. Actually, did she take that bottle? Yes, that was a bounty rune. If she returns mid, she will notice that there's already a DK working on that tower. And there is a Bounty Hunter in the backlines, as well as a Lion in range to actually do something.
Also in the vicinity is a big Ancient Sack, a triple sack if I am not miscounting, which I very well might be. Could be one more if there's an extra set of golems there, but that's a lot of gold for CDEC. Probably the Bristleback is going to be the one to benefit from that extra bit of gold, but their team in general is really good at taking down those stacks between Flat Cannon and the Quills. So it is something LGD need to keep in mind, maybe something that they'll look to contest. They haven't blocked it, which is maybe something that will come to bite them later. MMY is playing a dangerous dance with XZ. Will open up with the Hex, looking for the Shadow Fiend's races to follow, but with Winter Wyvern here, this isn't going to work out. They'll heal him up, and with the cold, or excuse me, the Splinter Blast, they'll kill off the Lion. A TP out from the Shadow Fiend will save his life.
Yep, nice go there on a Bristleback. He didn't even have to use stick there. Cold Embrace, everything was enough to just keep him alive. And that was an easy kill on the Lion, and of course it's also downtime for the Shadow Fiend because he had to TP out, not to mention buy a new TP. So overall, nice one for CDEC. Just, yeah, the mere fact getting a kill right now in the lane is giving them some sort of revenge. However, well, Lion is trying to stop that Earthquake just not really hit, and oh, Bristleback, he really means it. There's still a Hex he could go for. At the moment he was just going for that Quill Sprays, not really anything happening.
Just some casual damage over onto MMY, but now there's a hasted bounty. It's only a level 4 bounty, however. I don't think he's going to be able to set up any kills by himself, but if XZ plays aggressively in top lane, maybe there's an opportunity, but now Zhao, it's just going to casually make a loop. Doesn't really accomplish much with that route.
By the way, guys, I'm still curious what this one is. Yummy something something Chinese letters. If anyone can read this, like tweet it at me or something like that. I want to know. I don't know, because that's something I cannot copy paste and then put into Google. I'm really curious. Like also these messages on the walls. Unfortunately, this time there are people voting that do not have like customized walls. It's too bad. Anyway, oh top. I think they want to go on that Shadow Fiend. Yes, Fateful. Everything is already up, and this is just a matter of time till he goes down. Rocket Barrage actually helping, and a Gyrocopter getting credit for this one. So he, also nice rotation by him. And now that the Shadow Fiend is dead, I think we're gonna see, yeah, this is a tower push. Tier 1 for Tier 1 potentially? No, it's not. They want to go in the mid because there's a Winter Wyvern.
But can they get in range for the Dragon Tail? Just barely, and the follow-up from Lion should be with the Earth Spike. Garter is going nowhere. Suddenly 4 heroes in top lane. That's going to open up that rotation for LGD, but even so, they're going to lose a Tier 1 right afterwards in that same lane. And mid lane is defendable by XC. If he pulls off this aggro, it's going to make it a little bit harder for LGD to fully commit. The Dragon tick damage is going to be nice and all, but I'm not sure they can actually take it.
Nope, I don't think so. I mean, he did quite significant damage on the tower, sure, but that came at a high price, like taking a lot of tower hits right there. The Wyvern kill was kind of unlucky because you saw he was almost on that cliff with the Arctic burn. But yeah, that didn't really work out in the end. Well, the Bristleback is in the mid, showing presence, but he's also like really far out. He has to be careful. Like the Brief Fire still does a lot of damage on him. He does not have a cape or anything, and a cloak. I mean, cloak, cape, whatever, fashion. Never been my strength. Bottom, we actually had Sylar pushing a tiny bit with the help of the Bounty Hunter, at least having his back here for scouting purposes. He's level 5, by the way, so I don't know, at the 12-minute mark or something like that, we're gonna have the track, but maybe we don't even need tracks because we can just go for this. But so much damage right now. He's trying to turn this around, but I'm sorry, Gyrocopter, there are just too many at the moment of LGD. However, is there any rotation? Doesn't seem like it. They just go for a mid versus bottom tower trade.
Yeah, these safe lane farmers can't catch a break. As soon as they're left alone in the lane, it's a 5-man rotation, or 4-man rotation from the enemy side. Tier 1 tower is going to fall, but they're going to try to defend Tier 1 mid as well. Dragon Knight has since TP'd. Yao is there with Supernova, but no access to the Fire Spirits or Dive. Let's see, this is a hot pot at the moment. They're going to lift up, maybe pull him back in, but the follow-up disable isn't there. He's going to pop an invis and well, then instantly break out of it and clear up the creep wave.
Yep, so tower defended plus a tower traded, or actually not traded, I mean taken by LGD. So tiny bit better obviously for them. And the question is now, what do? They have the vision here. When it comes to this ward, there's no way CDEC can actually know something is going on. Just a sentry ward, just in case someone is coming through like the Bounty Hunter, but they're gonna take the big round. And the Bounty Hunter, actually with that Gyrocopter kill, he didn't make level 6. So there's still no tracks, still no way they can actually just scout. And this tower is also going down. They have to use the glyph just to buy some time. Splinter Blast doing some damage, but yeah, this tower is definitely out. And it seems like CDEC at the moment, they don't feel like fighting at all. They just don't want to really go into it. The Gyrocopter still farming alone. This looks like a S&Y build for him right away. Not sure if that's really the item he wants to go initially for, because they're gonna blow him up with the finger now. Lion is level 6. And yes, they're heading for it. There's no vision by CDEC. They can just really go directly into it, but yeah, he's not stupid. He just TP's out.
Yeah, that rotation, even though it wasn't spotted out by Radiant Vision, just good game sense coming out from the Gyrocopter. In the meantime, the Ancient Stack's going to be taken out by XZ. A lot of gold going the way of the Bristleback, so that is also going to help CDEC, cause they dodge a bullet and then take quite a lot of money into their bank. One Ancient Granite Golem is going to survive on 200 HP or so, but they found a bigger fish to fry. It's the Shadow Fiend. Let's see if this is going to work out. Nope, Sylar's going to TP mid. It's a very similar story to what we saw with the Gyrocopter just seconds ago.
Yep, with or without vision, like both teams are well aware of like what steps each team is gonna take next on what they're gonna focus on. They try to be preemptive, they try to like predict things, and so far it's working quite well. And we have to see where this one is going. We also had, like, by the way, like, I mean, this one is a fresh one, but the other one that was blocking this camp just ran out. It's quite interesting that LGD was interested in like blocking those two mid camps. Just making sure they really lock them down. There's a Bristleback, and this is also the first time we have a track out, so they have nice scouting. And there's a Dragon Tail just in the Bristleback, but with the back to everybody, that he's gonna get quite a lot of damage. What did we have stolen? This is, well, the Shurk, and I guess he can, yeah, just Fate Ball and maybe harass a tiny bit. We have, however, a Nova, and they're really going for that slow siege with the Dragon Knight. Still a level 1 ultimate, but it still does 100 damage plus, right, Clegg?
Yeah, and they're going to drop down this tier 3, or tier 2, excuse me, lower than a third of its HP. And with the next creep wave, it's going to get even further down. The Gyrocopter isn't there, but does have a TP if he wants to engage, and has the Yasha flying out to him on the Courier too. So a little bit of extra help inside this next fight. With Breathe Fire stolen, the Rubik will clear out the majority of this creep wave. So this siege is very, very slow.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
This is, I mean, that the Rubik is like really able to clear this if he steals the right things. Maybe a Race plus Fate Ball, a Breathe Fire plus a Fate Ball. So that's really good news, obviously, for him, because they had to abandon that siege. Not because they would not get it through, I think over time they would have, but it's just too much of a time waste right there. Like going for a tier 2 tower for that long, sticking together while the Gyrocopter is somewhere else and just farming. He got his Yasha now. I don't know if he's gonna really go for S and Y and just finish it right there. Let's see about this. There are so many sentry wards, by the way, right now, coming mostly out of that Rubik. Like at key positions where the Bounty Hunter really could come in. Blocking wise, we really just have this one. The Ancients, however, for example, they are not... Nope, they're not blocked. I thought earlier this sentry ward was actually blocking it, but well... Oh, what's happening here? The Queen of Pain just TPing into the line here, and he says like, yep, there you got the finger, and not the middle one. It's the hardcore one. However, they're gonna trade this for a Bounty Hunter who was visible under this key point sentry ward, just as I said before. But okay, still a decent trade for LGD actually, because a Bounty Hunter way low level compared to the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, if we take a quick look at the Radiant Sentry, or Observer Wards rather, they have one in mid, and another one closer to the river area there. Nothing to control their Ancients, so that's the only reason why Queen of Pain gets caught out there. And with hardly any HP to her name, even the support line can burst it down with a little bit of help from the Phoenix. So really nice trade there for LGD. The Bounty Hunter, at the very least, you get some intel on where the sentries are now. But yeah, this bounty is really not doing very much when it comes to making rotations around the map. Once teamfights start picking up again, LGD can get involved in a couple of kills, things might change for him, but up until this point the bounty has only been involved in 2 kills, and honestly I don't think either of them were tracked.
Yeah. By the way, talking about like key items and or like key things in general, this Lion, we talked about initiation on LGD's side. I did not expect the Lion actually having so much space that he can go for a Blink Dagger, but there we go, 2,300 gold. I don't think he's gonna buy anything else. This is a Blink Dagger initiation by the Lion. Bam, Earth Spike, second hex target, and getting rid of your finger, and from there you can, you know, just go AFK, have a coffee, die in the fight, and the team does pretty much the rest. That's like pretty much the playstyle of a Lion at this point. Because besides that Blink Dagger, he really got nothing else. I mean, 2 Iron Branches, yes, best item in the game, still won't help you at this damage output, especially if you blink in and there's a cooldown on you. That's pretty much already a HP pool right there. So let's see what's happening right now, because LGD seems to be back to the idea of pushing bot a bit. There's only the Bounty Hunter and the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend, however, he's quite tanky at this point. I mean, with the Mac, with the Auto Club full, Strength PTs and the Aquila, so there's a lot of armor, there's a lot of stats right now coming in, and there's the Cavalry. You have the Dragon Knight coming in, and also here at the tier 1 tower still the 2 supports joining the whole fray. So we have pretty much a deja vu of like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, and this time, however, they have a double damage on the Dragon Knight and the full BKB, as you've already mentioned. So this is going to be a lot cleaner of a push, but then again, you have a Queen of Pain split pushing in top lane, so if the fight goes poorly or if it goes slowly, things could turn south. But they catch out XZ with a couple of stuns with the turnaround Winter's Curse, and everybody's going to be just fine. The BKB popped by the Dragon Knight and LGD are losing a little bit of ground here. Dragontail was stolen by the Rubik, not sure if that's going to be relevant in the next engagement, but well, both teams have committed quite a lot to that first barrage of spells.
Well, actually, it's more LGD committing in the long run. Like, that's a 10-second BKB charge, but oh, Bristleback being caught out again. Is the damage this time enough? Yes, with the Finger of Fun. And right there, Rubik is also going down. That means tower for LGD. and then of course it was all worth it. That's a 10-second BKB down, some ultimates being spent. Actually, the Queen of Pain with a level 2 Sonic Wave didn't participate in the whole fun. Cooldown was anyway on cooldown, so LGD, do they continue? Is this a Roshan call? Something? We have to see. At the moment there's still double damage on a Dragon Knight, but that's gonna run out. New bounty rune is up. And what's happening here? The Gyrocopter going for the Shadow Fiend. This is a solo go on him. Mech is still on cooldown. The right clicks are there. That's a high value kill right now, right there on the Gyrocopter. There's a rotation in by the Phoenix, but who cares? They're not gonna get him down, especially just with the Bounty Hunter. There's just no way in hell.
The rest of his team was smoking up and didn't find anything with that smoke. They'll TP up towards the tower that Gyrocopter died, or Shadow Fiend died to the Gyrocopter at, but I don't think that's really going to matter much at all. Down the bottom lane, the smoke still commences, and it looks like they'll find a Wyvern with the Blink Dagger in from both the Dragon Knight and the Lion. The chain stun's there, and Garter is going to go down, and Wise on a killing spree.
Yep, and also the Shadow Walk going to the Rubik, which is not bad because it's nice for initiation. If you have permanently like a Rubik running around with the Shadow Walk, that means you suddenly as LGD team have to come up with detection with sentries at least. Let's actually check if they have some sentries, because right now they don't even have anything. So the Rubik could really stand directly on top of your head and dance Tango if you really want to. Okay, Tango and Dora is kind of bad because it has a reference. Anyway. He's really undetected with that, and that means a good initiation. Let's see if CDEC actually is going to use this now.
Glimmer Cape up towards top can keep Yao safe from the bristleback, but he is flexing his muscles, but maybe he needs to be a little bit more cautious. With Dragon Knight and Lion coming in from the right-hand side. If XC sticks around here, he's probably going to die, and with the Dragon Form committed, as well as the Dragon Tail, to find more than enough space for Lion to come in with the Earth Spike and the Hex to follow. XC surviving for quite a long time, but will he actually live? No, it's a mega kill for maybe, although they do have to commit a BKB charge for that. LGDB will be happy with the pickoff that they got.
Yeah, and even here I was very, very curious. Like, that Phoenix, he burned pretty much all his HP into the funny laser beam to just, you know, do damage and kill the DK up while he's like tanking tower included. So I thought that Sonic Wave is gonna take out the Phoenix, but the Queen of Pain was just like, no, not gonna use it here, not gonna use it right now. She's anyway poor in comparison. I mean, PTs and nulls like the Oblivion stuff into Orchid. Not the farm you really wanted to have on a Queen of Pain 21 minutes in.
No, she does, if she doesn't have the gold for Orchid, is very close to it, so at the very least they're going to get that next leap in power for the Quap.
Bottom.
Oh yeah, they found themselves a Bounty Hunter, and Xiaohui's going to hit the ground, but the turnaround on Ashiki is there with the Earth Spike connecting. Xiaohui even survives, baited I suppose, and now the Rubik is also in a world of hurt. Q is going to be chased down, the Fire Spirit's connecting and being tracked up. That's the end of the line here, even with Finger of Death committed. That's going to be 2 track kills for LGD.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the Finger of Death was a tiny bit overkill right there, because they could have really just chased him down, but they didn't want to, because he still had Shadow Walk, and well, I mean, that was a perfect bait. There were 2 people standing there. They thought they can go for the weakest link in LGD's roster at this point, which is the Bounty Hunter, by the use of Dust. So that's 90 gold down for Dust. This is 2 heroes down, plus, of course, one of them was tracked. And that's easy going for LGD, which means easy Roshan. And talking about numbers, anyway, while they do Roshan, we are 7.5k ahead here on LGD's side. In experience, it's way less. In experience, they just took over an advantage right now, which was always on the side of CDEC till now. But yeah, the gold is worrisome. It's very worrisome. At the moment, LGD is really just far ahead. And this Roshan didn't make it any better.
Yeah, definitely did not even Aegis up for Sylar's. BKB is still at 10 seconds, and maybe he's going to be sitting on a Sanj and Yasha, presumably, very shortly. Unless it's a Manta style, I honestly wouldn't be opposed to that. Having those Dragon illusions is pretty cool. But regardless, they're going to start the push in mid lane. They'll use the Dragon form and just siege it down. CDEC, unless they go right about now, they won't be able to contest it. It looks like they'll give away the tier 2 tower for free and save everything for high ground.
Yep, pretty much. So tier 2 is going down, nothing used right there, no clip whatsoever. LGD, I don't think they're gonna stop here. I mean, yes, there's some nice counter push here, but they got the illusion, they got the tracks, they know exactly what's going on. There's the goal on the person back. Well, his back is actually nicely turned. Is there a Finger? No, the Finger's still on cooldown, but the Requiem, easy going. That Winter's Curse, way too late for this one. They let it channel through. and therefore the pressure back is going down. And another opening here on the Gyrocopter. He has no BKB, no nothing, he has only stick charges, but he's already going down. And look at the Phoenix X also, no problem whatsoever, and that probably means tier 3 tower, unless of course the Gyrocopter is gonna do something about it. He still has his ultimate, he can still slow this down. There's a lot he can do about at least the creeps, but I think at least the tower goes to LGD.
Yeah, at the very least. The Glyph will delay, and Rubik did get his hands on Supernova, so maybe LGD will pull out for a little bit longer and just be happy with what they got from that push. But honestly, I'm thinking that they could have stuck around more. They don't have BKBs for the next 30 seconds, and I suppose it's the more reserved play, but at the very least, they could have taken down the tier 3.
Yeah, and I'm so glad we actually got this Blink Dagger Dragonite, as I said in the draft, that I find it in this game, like where you draft something that has like lack of initiation, that it really comes out. And you saw what kind of value it has. I mean, that was pretty much on Dagger cooldown, 2 initiations, both led to the kill. I think the one with the Requiem directly on top of the Brazil, I think that was kind of the Winter Wyvern's mistake, because he had the curse, he could have spent it, but he was just not in range or not fast enough. Either way, so with that being said, LGD, their BKBs are ready again. Seems like they want to push. Just rinse and repeat.
They're going to get a track onto Rubik. He'll steal track, but at the cost of his own life as he gets Shuriken and Breathe Fire down. Rubik out of the engagement, although isn't the biggest kill that they could have gotten, it's still 4v5, and they still have Aegis on Sylar for at least 2 minutes. So LGD find themselves with a big window of opportunity. Tier 3 tower is going to end up going down in just a couple of attacks, and now they'll move on to the barracks. They're splitting their focus, but they can afford to do so. CDEC don't show any interest in contesting Gyrocopter's bottom lane.
Yeah, Gyrocopter, it seems like they've given up on the Rex. They know they cannot do anything, but this is always dangerous. If you forfeit Rex, that shows your enemy your weakness, and like, there is no honor code whatsoever in Dota fights. If something is on the ground, you even punch it more, and look at the initiation. Winter Wyvern dying before you can even say anything. Winter is definitely not coming for him. Lion, well, dying here. He was a bit too far out. There's a buyback on the Winter Wyvern as well, but now they want to turn it around. Pusselback just throwing boogies at a Requiem Shadow Fiend, but into the BKB, fresh 10-second BKB off the Gyrocopter, and now it's all about the damage. Sonic Wave in their backs. The Shadow Fiend still on low HP. Finally, he's going down, but he's protected by the Aegis. Gyrocopter trying to go for something here on the DK, but it's not really working. In the meantime, the Shadow Fiend fighting like a man. He's so tanky, Jesus Christ, but eventually he's going down. Requiem doing a lot of damage to the residual guys, but oh, Bounty Hunter, I think you're dead. Yes, he is. So the only survivor right now is the DK, but of course all this happens after they lost Rex and even took quite some damage on that tier 3 tower.
It was the right play from CDEC. They kind of needed the Gyrocopter's BKB before they could take a fight like that, but yeah, as you already said, it is very costly. The buyback was spent by the Winter Wyvern and the Gyro both, although the Gyrocopter bought back 2 minutes previous. So, I don't know, this game is still in LGD's favor, although CDEC do make a high ground defense, or at the very least repel LGD from their base.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is really like, was this a real win, or was this just like, hey, we got a 5-on-5 situation, they dove deep, we just got the line, we spent the buyback, we have to do something. I mean, that is already the second buyback they spent on high ground defense. They traded that tier 1 tower for their Rex, which is of course a horrible trade in any case. So they really had to chase this down and get something out of this. Like the higher level heroes, maybe even on killing trees whatsoever, they had to kill them just to get that influx of revenue for their little Radiant business here. And yeah, if they can come back on this, that's now the question. We have a smoke. Of course they have to be really, really fast with also the Bounty Hunter not breaking that smoke, but at the moment he seems to be far away.
Wyvern popped the smoke, he hit the Dragonite illusion, that's all she wrote. That's the attempt down the tubes.
Oh, Winter Wyvern. Okay, there's definitely no winter for Garda today. Winter's not coming, guys. It's postponed this year.
Poor guy. We'll get back in this game. LGD are finding more and more gold to put in their pockets. But I suppose the good news for CDEC is that they are investing very heavily in items to fight now with. Sanjin Yasha on both the Dragonite and the Shadow Fiend might end up biting them if CDEC can take this game out for another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, well, we have to see where this one is going with the top lane, because another smoke. This is the second attempt. Let's see if they actually get it through.
If it doesn't work out, it might just be game there. So CDEC, this is somewhat of a last-ditch effort. It's not over by any means yet, but if this is a full 5-man wipe, that's probably another set of barracks. And at that point, I don't really see them coming back. They don't find an angle.
Grandis. I just spotted like this observer board. I don't know if they smoked like over there or if they already did it here. But I think it's completely spotted out because LGD is sitting there around the trees. They know something was coming up, so I'm pretty sure that was spotted out. And now what's left, if your smoke fails, you just have to go for the normal tower defense.
Alrighty, tier 2 tower in top lane is going to be attempted to be defended, but LGD are still sticking around inside the trees. Maybe NNMY are there with the blink daggers at the ready on both the Lion and the DK. If Sylar just stands out there, it might bait CDEC into going in for him, but it looks like that's unlikely. They'll change this into more or less just a straight push as Phoenix goes for a Sunray over the trees, and there's the blink in with the BKB activated. They'll blow up the 4 Winter Wyvern. Caldown's on the ground, but the Gyrocopter isn't doing enough damage by himself. With Sonic Wave, they'll kill off the Phoenix before the Supernova comes out, but with the Requiem being unwound, XZ is also going to lose his life, and CDEC's chances are looking grim at best. They also commit the BKB from the Gyrocopter without having Queen of Pain's ultimate and the BKB there. It's probably not going to be a high ground defense.
And this was already a good case scenario sort of for CDEC because they didn't have to deal with the Phoenix. The Phoenix was blowing up on the way, so there was no dealing with the Nova, no having to retreat, no being stunned under the egg, and then the eggs falling on your head and making all mess. So that was already like a decentish scenario, but LGD, they just easily take the tier 2 tower and a 2-1 trade. All that, of course, with Trax, even though right now the Rubik has the chance to also get some gold for his team because Track is on him. Roshan, what is with Roshan? We actually see in about 1, 2, 3 seconds how long it actually takes, and it is like nothing. This is one of the shortest timers I've ever seen. There we go. That was like 8 minutes and what, 3 seconds or something like that. And now Bounty Hunter or Lion will check Roshan. Do it, otherwise I'm wrong. Ha! There, see? They check it. Now they know it's up. LGD having a safe crip and a tight crip on this side of the map, so easy Roshan for them, I think.
Yeah, definitely, especially considering they didn't use the Supernova in the last fight. Usually that's a bad thing, but now they have it for the fight inside Roche Pit. With a DD on maybe, it seems that this Roshan's going to die well before CDEC can actually make a smoke rotation. This ward has been working overtime, although it was spotted out by the creeps. They'll just try to use the smoke for movement speed, and Roshan has been stopped by LGD. They're going to wait in the wings, and maybe this initiation goes well for CDEC, although LGD know what's coming. This is scary.
This might actually be good initiation by them. Rubik's going in. There's the vision. There's the smoke popping up. Where's your dust? There's the dust, but oh, Rubik just not reacting. The Glimmer Cape is up, but they have vision due to the drag. There's the Winter's Curse. Well, on a big fat Dragonite. Now he's losing his BKB charge, and they're going ham on him. The Bristleback actually working, but there is finally the Nova in the end. They really have to get the hell out of here. The Nova will explode, and now the question is, what do they get on top of all of this? Right now, Winter Byron is going to be focused. He doesn't even get the Cold Embrace off, but they want to turn this around. The DK is already pretty low. There's a Sonic Wave, but it doesn't even connect to the DK, or just glimpsing him right there. She's going down. Bristleback super low in HP, and I think that Gyrocopter also not going to live for very long. GG call right there, because they know after this fight they would get Roshan, they would get another Rex most likely. So I think the GG call is very, very much